Okay, so someone explained to me how this one river splits into four rivers, and four rivers that head off into very distant destinations. Um, we don't really see rivers split. Okay, sometimes they have islands in them and the water goes around the islands and recombines. Fine. And sometimes you'll see deltas at the mouths of rivers. But over long distances and their general directions, rivers don't really split, not without some major engineering or canal work on the part of humans, and that requires a lot to maintain and just even keep going as is, waterlogs and so on. Um, the thing is, water pretty much only flows one direction, and that is downhill at the steepest angle it can. Simple force of gravity at work. And if it's only going the one direction, it's not going to split into four directions. Yet that's exactly what the Bible is saying happened with this magic river that's coming out of Eden. Um, so, so first of all, that doesn't make much sense. But second, the part about one of the rivers, the Gihon, encompassing the entire land of Ethiopia, making a circle around it. Look at any atlas. Hell, go online to Google Maps. Look at Ethiopia. Okay, granted, political boundaries have changed some over the years, centuries. Ethiopia's actually been pretty stable over the centuries as far as borders go because something in the Quran mentions Muhammad saying, "Don't attack the Aksums." Those were the Ethiopians essentially, and thus they got left out of the Muslim conquest. So it's actually had pretty stable boundaries over the years. But okay, look anywhere in the Horn of Africa, and what you're looking for here is a river that runs in a circle, and whatever that encompassed, Ethiopia was in there. Um, you're not going to find it. You're not. And maybe you say, oh, right, land was reshaped during Noah's flood. Haven't gotten there yet, but we know it's coming. Except you still have Ethiopia. You still have the Euphrates, another river that existed. You still have Assyria. So the land wasn't reshaped all that much. Um, and for that matter, how would a river even flow in a circle at all? All right, the water's flowing downhill. It's flowing downhill. It's flowing downhill. It's flowing downhill, and suddenly it's back where it started. And somewhere along the line, it somehow managed to go uphill again. No, no, this makes no sense whatsoever. I Okay, fine. It's a nitpick. This has no significance whatsoever. There are no doctrines based on it, at least so far as I know. There are no apologetics based on it. It matters for nothing. And it still bugs me. Okay, so that's starting off on the small parts. Let's get to something a little bit bigger here. Alright, let's talk about the two accounts. Now, a lot of people say the two accounts are kind of contradictory, and they point to a few things, and I'm trying to bend over backwards here to avoid saying there's a contradiction. I'm trying to set a really, really high bar before I call something a contradiction. So I'm going to see if I can resolve these two accounts. One complaint, for example, that's often made is that in the first account, in the chapter one account, God is making the animals before God makes Adam, and in chapter two, this account, God makes Adam and then is trying to make helpers for Adam, and he makes the animals then. So yeah, there seems to be a chronology discrepancy, but like I said, I'm trying to bend over backwards here to give the Bible as much leeway as I can before I say definitely, definitely contradiction. And yeah, I'm agile enough to spin this. I can just say, all right, God's already made the animals, but in order to display them for Adam, he's making copies of the animals. Okay, if I'm agile enough, I can spin that. Um, the and the devil here in trying to reconcile these two things is in the details. Okay. So let's try to combine these two accounts and see what we get. Um, Now, this is the chronology of day 6 here, and as best as they can be reconciled. Um, God makes all the land animals, and then makes Adam, and then Eden, and we can say all of that happens pretty much instantly, simply to be charitable about it. Then Adam starts evaluating all the animals for their worth as a helper and giving them names. And this is where it gets sticky.